Another day, another box score watching episode. We are at day episode 39, I'm pretty sure, and we had a lot of games today. Let's talk about them. Before we do that, if you enjoy this type of content, if you enjoy talking about basketball, everything, leave a like, subscribe, let me know your thoughts about today's games, and check out my latest video about if these NBA coaches should be fired. I talk about the Hawks coach Nick McMillan and Knicks coach Tom Thibodeau, and let's get into it with the Hawks instantly as they lose another game. This time it's against the 76ers in Philadelphia, and there were a lot of game time decisions before the game, as DeAndre Hunter played, Clint Capella played, John Collins played, even Joel Embiid played for the Sixers. For the Hawks, it's the same old story. They were pretty much dominant, leading, having a lot of good times, 60 points at the half. Felt like they were gonna, beat them because they're better. But then they started turning the ball over, the offense got stale, and as it got tight and it was close, the offense just couldn't do anything, and they didn't stop Joel Embiid, they couldn't stop Tobias Harris. And with that, the Hawks are now 11-10 and are looking really weird. Like I keep saying, I made a video about Nate McMillan. Check it out if you want to hear my thoughts about him and why he should get fired. As, well, the Hawks are a weird bunch right now. Capella had 10 and 16, John Collins had 13, 8 and 3, 2 steals, 4 blocks. He was perfect for my fantasy, let's just put it that way. Trae Young 18 and 10, but still didn't shoot the ball particularly well. DeJounte Murray 17, 5 and 6, his better game. One of his better games throughout this rough stretch, but still not great. Then on the Sixers side, Tobias Harris continues to play really well, as he stepped up recently without every other star in Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, and James Harden. He had 24 and 10. I've been really impressed with how he's played, how he looked throughout these last 4 games. Shout out to him, finally, giving at least some validation to that contract. Obviously, it's never gonna get validated anyway, but at least he's showing signs that, he's got a fight in him. And if he can keep it up and just be great when everyone else is there, it would be lovely. Joel Embiid, 38 and 7 in his return, 2 steals, 2 blocks, 9 of 18 from the field. What a great play from him. DeAnthony Melton, 9 points, 5 assists. Shake Milton, 21, 5 and 7, 9 of 20. And Georges Niang off the bench once again had 3 3-pointers. Matisse Thybulle was solid in his 7 minutes. Just overall a great win for the Sixers, who steadied the ship as their defense is looking really good, and they will obviously add Tyrese Maxey and James Harden back at some point during December. Joel Embiid will be now back, hopefully he can stay healthy, and they are looking really good. Next up, we have the Timberwolves getting blown out by the Washington Wizards in Washington, as they even lose Karl Anthony Towns to an injury. This was a blowout all the way throughout. The T-Wolves brought some energy in the second half, but it didn't matter. Kristaps Porzingis had like 29 points in the first half in like 15 minutes. They couldn't do anything with him. The T-Wolves didn't look like, they don't look like they enjoy each other. They just look like they have to play with each other, and they look miserable doing it. And Karl Anthony Towns had to leave the game through a non-contact injury. It was obviously feared if it is Achilles, but it appears he grabbed something, much higher than usually players do when it's Achilles. It appears to be a right calf strain. Hopefully it's nothing more major. We'll know more throughout today, and maybe it's already know if it's anything, not significant but worse than they thought. As this video will be going up at midnight, and I'll already be sleeping. I'm recording it throughout the day, so you might already know what's with Cat. Right now, I don't know anything except that it's better than it was feared. Rudy Gobert, 19 and 7. D'Angelo Russell, 17 points. Jalen Noel off the bench, the only silver lining for them still, as he was good. The atmosphere is weird there in Minneapolis, and the T-Wolves are looking very bleak. And like I said, for the Wizards, Kristaps Porzingis had 41 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks. He had 29 in the first half, if I'm not wrong. I'm pretty sure I'm correct. 12 of 18, 6 of 10 from the 3-point line. They couldn't do anything with anyone. The Wizards got anything they wanted. They couldn't stop anyone on the perimeter. Bradley Beal had 22 points, 9 of 14. Kyle Kuzma had 23, 8 and 9. He had 4 of 7 from the 3-point line. Corey Kispert, 4 of 4. Will Barton, 3 of 6. 5 of 6 for Jordan Goodwin. They shot 57% from the field. 48% from the 3-point line. It was just a demolition, absolute demolition of the Timberwolves. And we move on to another demolition right away as the Celtics demolished the Hornets at home. I'm not even gonna comment on the Hornets because we all know what is going on there. I'm gonna give shoutouts to Jalen McDaniels, who had 24 points, Kelly Oubre had 22 points, PJ Washington had 16 points, Theo Maledon at 11 and 8. Solid for them. Kai Jones getting some playing time. He had 9 and 6. Bryce McGowan's at 10 and 6. So shout out to these guys at least. Then on the Celtics side, we all know what they do. Jason Tatum, even though he didn't shoot particularly well from the 3-point line, he had 35 points. Was plus minus was 45. 35, 3 and 3, 2 steals, 1 block. Solidifying himself up top that MVP conversation. Marcus Smart, 22 and 15, 8 of 11, 6 of 9 from the 3-point. Malcolm Brogdon had 21, 8 of 9 from the field. Everyone contributed. They are just insane. They are just insane. I keep telling it every time. They're insane shots. Almost 60% from the field. 24 made threes, 46% from the 3-point line. And so spooky, man. We move on to Brooklyn as the Nets hold off the Orlando Magic and move right at 500. Orlando, a better game from them after a couple of rough games. They were competitive. They were even leading throughout the first half mostly, but they let the Nets get in it and KD just dominated them. Bol had 24 points in 40 minutes almost, yet 10 of 15, 24, 6 and 2, 2 steals. And you love to see this. Getting playing time, he's learning through it and it's looking really good. Paolo 24, 4 and 5, 9 of 17, he was solid. Franz Wagner had 21 points, 8 of 16. Gary Harris had 7 of 12 shots, he had 19 points. The bench didn't shoot well, but they were solid defensively. Just couldn't stop KD. And when KD gets going like this, 19 of 24, 45, 7, 5, 2 steals, 2 blocks. Sensational game from him. He couldn't be stopped, nothing you could do with him. Great game from him. Ben Simmons had to leave the game early because, well, some left knee soreness, as you know, he hasn't played a lot of basketball, and throughout his last 6 games he played a lot of like 6 games, 6 games in 12 days for his, standard is a lot, and he played in every each and one of them over 30 minutes per game, and I think it's because of that. That's what the head coach Jack Vaughn said. Hopefully it's nothing too major then. He'll be fine for the next game. It's just about conditioning probably and about just getting used to it again. Kyrie had 20 points. Nick Claxton had 17 and 13. Royce O'Neal 5, 10 and 5. Joe Harris even finally shot the ball somewhat good. Just a great win for the Nets. Next up, we had the Cleveland Cavaliers losing to the Toronto Raptors in Toronto as they get back Pascal Siakam. This was an ugly game for the Cleveland Cavaliers. 34 of 90. They shot 38% from the field, 18% from the 3-point line. It was just nasty. Nasty game from everyone. Darius Garland was solid, 18 and 10. Evan Mobley had 18 and 15, but everyone else was god-awful, man. Raul Neto, I'm sorry to you, and sorry to Isaiah Mobley. You weren't god-awful, but everyone else was god-awful. That was nasty to watch. I was so disappointed in the Cavs today. It was essentially a blowout. They were in the game for the first half, but it felt like they were not getting anything. Donovan Mitchell had 8 points. Nasty game. Toronto gets back Pascal Siakam as he had 18, 11 and 5 in his 30 minutes, which was his minute restriction. Fred VanVleet still playing solid defense, didn't shoot the ball particularly well, but he was still fine. OG Anunoby was great, 20 points, 8 of 13 shooting. Scotty Barnes was playing off the bench. He had 11, 4 and 5. Gary Trent off the bench at 14 and 7. And it's looking much better for Toronto right now as Siakam is back. Hopefully, they are injury free as they have been riddled with a lot of injuries. And they are poised to, be really good. Next up, we have the Pelicans winning against the Oklahoma City Thunder as they are now 12 and 8. And OKC has been losing a lot of games lately as Shea has not been as efficient as he's been throughout there, a little of a winning way, if you might say. Josh Giddey was bad today. Jeremiah Robinson didn't shoot the ball well. Alexei Pouchevsky was solid, 11, 4, 2, 1 steal. Lou Dort was solid. The bench didn't contribute as well as they could have. Trey Mann, 1 of 7 from the 3-point line. Jalen Williams was good though, 8, 6 and 1 in his 24 minutes, 3 of 6. And well, they've just, it was what we expected from them. They were fun. Shea is still a lot of fun, even though he's not been as efficient. Today he was 7 of 21, still made 31 points as he made 16 free throws. 6 rebounds, 4 assists. He had 7 turnovers though. Can't do that if you want to win, right? And they, are getting where we thought they would be. So they're still fun, just where we thought they would be. And for the Pels, they were without CJ McCollum, they were without Brandon Ingram, and Zion played sensational game. 23 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 blocks, 1 steal. In his 35 minutes, 11 of 18 from the field. He was solid. He was really good. You love to see how he played today. You love to see that. Played good defense. He was just all around sensational. Trey Murphy had 20 points, 6 rebounds. He was 7 of 13 from the field. Dyson Daniels off the bench had 8 points in his 28 minutes. Some solid contribution from him. Jose Alvarado was Jose Alvarado. 15 points, 4 assists, 2 steals. Herb Jones defended well. The offense wasn't there today, really. And Jonas Valanciunas also didn't have the offense there today. And Pelicans just won. Next up, we had the Nuggets blowing out the Rockets, as they are now 13-7. And yeah, I'll be honest, I didn't watch anything of this game, so let me see what... I just saw the stats, obviously, as Alfred Şengün, 18.7 rebounds, 3 assists. Jalen Green, 17, 7, 5 of 15, didn't shoot efficient today. Kevin Porter was, I suppose, okay shooting-wise. Kenyon Martin had 15 points off the bench. He's really intriguing. Denver, on the other hand, I know Jamal Murray had his best game since his coming back this season. 31 points, 5 assists. He was 11 of 17 from the field. The bench was sensational today. Zeke Naji had 15. DeAndre Jordan had 8 and 10, which is crazy for the year 2022. Davon Reed had 9 points. Ish Smith had 10 and 8. Everyone contributed, except, well, Vlatko Cancar still contributed, but he didn't contribute offensively. Jamal Murray, like I said, best game in a while. Kentavious Caldwell 8 points. Nikola Jokic at 32, 12 and 8. Sensational game from him. Bruce Brown continues to contribute really well, and even without Michael Porter Jr., they smashed the Rockets as they should. Great stuff from Denver. We move on to Utah, as Utah is skimming down as we thought they would. They lose another game as they lose to the Bulls at home. And the Bulls continue to confuse the hell out of me, but they win against Utah as they played a really solid game. Kobe White was sensational, 6 of 9, 15 points. Alex Caruso in his 26 minutes was so good. 5, 6 and 2, doesn't seem, that great, but his defense was sensational. We know what Alex Caruso is about, right? It's all about the energy, the effort, the defense. And he occasionally gets you some points, some assists, some blocks, even today. Great stuff from him. Zach LaVine, at least a solid game from him, but he's still looking really weird. DeMar, 26, 4 and 6, 9 of 20, he was okay. But they won. Good win for them. Andre Drummond, 10 and 10 also. Let me not forget about him. Utah, skimming down, as I said. Even though they shot really well, the defense has been really bad as Mike Conley has left, not left, has been injured. The defense has been really bad. Malik Beasley didn't shoot the ball lights out of the basketball right now in this game, and that cost them. 36 minutes for Colin Sexton. He was really good, 17, 4 and 6. He was solid. Jordan Clarkson couldn't hit anything today. He had 8, 6 and 9, 3 of 15. Jared Vanderbilt, I need him on my Warriors. Let me just put it in there. Kelly Olynyk, as I said, 8 of 13, 23 points. Lauri Markkanen, 12 of 18, 32, 9 and 1. He was really good, but it just wasn't enough defense. Not enough defense for the Jazz right now. Then, probably the best game of the night. We had the Suns beating the Sacramento Kings in Sacramento. Devin Booker went off as he had 44 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 6 steals. Even though he had 6 turnovers, he had 6 steals and 4 assists. Sensational game from Book, 17 of 28 from the field. He didn't even shoot the 3 that well, but he got to the basket, to his mid-range. He was just sensational. DeAndre Ayton, 17 and 12, he was solid. Torrey Craig, 11 and 5. Mikal Bridges, 13, 8 and 7, 3 steals, 3 blocks. But the main hero, the clutch god, Damion Lee, man. Damion fucking Lee, 15, 5 and 1, 6 of 11. 3 3-pointers in the fourth quarter, and well, I'm happy for D Lee. On the real, I'm happy for D Lee. He's been really great for them. Shout out to him as they beat the Kings, and it was a really interesting game. The Kings were weird to me, but they were in the game. They kept fighting, and I thought they were gonna get away with it, but Damion Lee didn't let them. Damion Lee just didn't let them, and the Suns got control and then essentially got to a 10-point lead, and then it was just a foul game. The Kings couldn't get it back. De'Aaron Fox was horrible today. I'm so disappointed with his performance today. After a rough couple of games, I expected him to bounce back today, but he didn't. He had 11, 5, and 5, and he couldn't be played because Brook was bullying him, which I still don't understand, because David Mitchell, I don't think did that much better, but the stats say otherwise, I suppose. But hey, off night, right? But the size is a real problem still. Terence Davis was great off the bench with 11. Malik Monk was sensational. He had 30 points, 8 assists, 12 of 17 from the field. He was awesome. Domantas Sabonis 17, 9, and 10. He was really good. Keegan Murray had his better game in a long time, but the defense was not good enough, and De'Aaron Fox was really bad, which, if your best player is that bad, it's just, you don't win that much if your best player is this bad. And last but not least, we go to the City of Angels. LA Lakers blow a 17-point fourth-quarter lead against the Pacers as Frisky Pacers hit the game winner at the buzzer to shock the Lakers, as they now move to 12-8 and bounce back from a horrible game against the Clippers yesterday. And I'm so happy for this. I wanted to see this, not just because I don't like Lakers, but because I like the Pacers a lot. They were great. Tyrese Haliburton was sensational, 24 points, 14 assists, 0 turnovers. Once again, he has had over the last 3 games about over 40 assists, right? And 0 turnovers, which has never been done before, I think. Sensational stuff from the point guard himself. 24 points also. Beautiful pass to Andrew Nembhart, who ended the game with his 3-pointer, as he had 12 points, 4 of 7 from the 3-point line. Bennedict Mathurin was better than LeBron, as he said, 23 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 10 of 22 from the field. Miles Turner, 15 and 13, he was solid. Buddy Hield was solid down the stretch, 15 points. And a great win for the Frisky Pacers, baby. The Lakers, on the other hand, very rough loss, as they were dominating throughout the game, essentially. And then they just let the Pacers come back in it. LeBron was not great, 21, 7, and 3. He did tweak his ankle, though. Hopefully it's nothing major, and he was back in the game. But 21 points on 22 shots was not good. He was double-teamed a lot in the fourth quarter, but he was really bad defensively. And it's a really bad game from him. AD, 25, 13, and 6, 4 blocks. He was still really good, but he didn't touch the ball that much down the stretch, which is concerning. Russ, 10 of 18, 24, 4, and 6. Even though he had 6 turnovers, he was really good. Just not enough for the Lakers today. Not enough. It was enough until they blew it, right? Austin Reeves had 13 points. He's been great. He's been really great over this homestand. Kendrick Nunn contributed a little bit. Dennis Schroeder was not great in his minutes, but hey, he's still getting more into shape, right? Very rough loss for the Lakers, though. Nothing to, say else about it. Be a king where the kingdom comes, and you can tell everybody, Yeah, and that was actually a really cool day in the NBA, right? A lot of fun games, a lot of intriguing storylines, a lot of great, individual performances. Shout out KD especially. And now we go on to Tuesday, where we just have 3 games, but 2 of them should be really fun, even though the Clippers are obviously still missing Paul George and probably even Kawhi Leonard. Then Trailblazers are still missing Dame, I think. I'm pretty sure he's not been cleared yet. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. It should be a good game still. Warriors Mavs should be a fun one, as the Mavs are on a losing streak. The Warriors are on the come up. The Warriors should beat the Mavs. As a Warriors fan, I will say it, but it's Luka, and they need a win. They're at home. They're tough to beat at home, and especially when it's not, when it's not inferior team, right? The Knicks against the Pistons. I'm gonna watch it because just 3 games, so why not, right? But well, the Knicks should win, right? That will I do it though. I'll see you all tomorrow. Leave a like, subscribe. Tomorrow is another day, baby.